Welcome back subscribers and hello YouTube viewers. On this occasion we're off to the lower Stony Creek Dam Wall, which is situated in the Brisbane Ranges. It's 88 kilometres or about 55 miles west of the state capital Melbourne in Victoria, Australia. The lower Stony Creek Dam Wall was built between February 1873 and June 1874 and is historically significant as the first mass gravity fed dam wall in Victoria and Australia, and the third such structure of its type in the world. It was an integral part of the Geelong's water supply system, one of Victoria's earliest town's water supply systems, commencing in 1873, which underpinned Geelong's development into a thriving city, port and manufacturing centre. The construction marked an important moment in the history of engineering in Victoria through its early use of Portland cement concrete in a large structure and the application of the principles of stability developed by the Scottish civil engineer W.J.M. Rankine. So we have arrived at the Stony Creek, or the lower Stony Creek wall or dam, and I can tell you that the walk from the car park to this location, to the actual dam that's behind me, is just half a kilometre. So if you pace yourself, you can do it, as I do. I've paced myself. I didn't take any footage of the walk through on the tracks. I just wanted to make sure if I could get the drone up or not, because a lot of the national park areas have restrictions and it notifies you on the software before you take off that it's a restricted area. But on this occasion it wasn't, so that's great. So we did get the drone up, so that's fantastic. And I think some of the images at the end of this video are quite dramatic or just eye-boggling, that the dam was actually built at this location. I understand, I think through the historical stuff at the start of the video, the water or the dam was really constructed for Geelong Water, for their fresh water. I am aware also that it's the first time they used Portland cement, which I find quite fascinating, and supposedly it's one of the first dams ever built in Australia. So you've probably now heard this little spiel twice. At the intro and now. Once again, if there's anything else I need to say, I'll mention it during the drone while it's in flight, if I find out anything else about this location. But I can tell you that the walk is quite easy. There are camping grounds around here, and there will be some images of me walking back just to let you know what it sort of all looks like. And it's an easy walk. I think anyone can really do it. Driving here off the main road, I would suggest that you can do it in pretty much most cars, not necessarily with a four-wheel drive, but if it's wet and it's been raining, don't even think about it without a four-wheel drive. I think it's a slippery, slimy sort of clay road that would get anyone in trouble, including those in a four-wheel drive. So if it's super dry, I'd give it a go. In any car, as long as you've got a reasonable clearance. If it's a sports car, obviously don't try it, because there are a few potholes, and if you miss them, you're likely to lose the spoiler or something on your car. But if it's just a regular car, I don't think you have too many problems. And yes, I'll swing the camera around and show you what I see. So I'm assuming that's the outlet for when the water or when the dam was too full to let it out down the creek. And I think this is where you had the controls for that, like a big wheel or something to turn it to open the valve We'll have a look and have a bit of a see. Yeah, it does appear that way. And just mind your step. And this is what it looks like in here. So I'm assuming someone climbed up there. There seems to be a handle to that wheel. And you'd spin that around to open the gate. And the water would come rushing out. So that's all here in place, worth a look. So if you're into sort of engineering stuff, or just curious about sort of history in general, this is actually quite a good place. I don't think too many people would be aware of it. And it did supply the water to, or that was the purpose of it, to supply water to Geelong. And I understand that the way the cement was poured here, it was just gravity fed. So it wasn't compacted or anything, it was just poured one after the other, probably rendered off. And there you go. Now, I don't think you can walk along the top anymore. I can see from this angle, I'll try to zoom in, the sun's pretty fierce, so there's a lot of glare. And if I zoom in a little bit, you'll probably see there's a steel gate there. So that prevents you from walking across. I think some of the older photos, you can see people actually walking across, but not anymore. Now, as you make the walk from the car park to here, you'll come across quite a lot of these white PVC pipes. Now, initially I thought that was for litter, and it's not for litter. It actually shows you what looks like a valve for the pipe work. And it's got here John Danks and Sons, Proprietary Limited. And then I think it says Myers, Melbourne on that plaque. So I'm assuming that's just a valve of sorts. And when I pan back there, you'll see the main pipe there. So I'm assuming that's somehow connected. And right along the path, what you'll see is those white PVC pipes. They're not for litter. It's just to protect them, maybe from someone tripping or whatever. So here we are, just at another angle. And it does appear that there's some modernisation that's occurred here as well. Now, I just don't want to step in something that makes me fall in. Here's something a lot more modern inside this place where, or a valve, I guess is what I'm calling it, to let out water if the dam's full. And as we saw with the, or about to see the drone footage, it is very full. So that's great. Right. Quite interesting enough, this is a weekday, and I have seen quite a number of people on the track already. I think it's around 10ish, I guess. So people are coming out here weekdays. Bushwalkers, if you're into bushwalking. There's a lot of tracks to follow. Some of them go actually for hours. So if you're a keen bushwalker and like to walk for hours, there are some tracks for you to go on. I do believe bikes are okay to be used on the path, because what I have noticed is bike tracks. So there are bicycle tracks on this exact path that I've seen, and they look like they're mountain bike type things. So that's pretty good, but just double check the signage. So here's a final look of one of Australia's first dams ever built. And as you can see, there are bushwalkers and hikers of all ages. Now, as you can see, the path does go over these stone sort of embankments, and I'm assuming this is where that Stony Creek runs. So when the water gets drained from the dam, if it's too full, it takes this path. So here's one of those nature circuit walks. So you can sort of start at one point. This is very close to the car park, which I'll show you, and you do a big sort of loop back to the car park. And there are some sort of boards on display. Oh, the glare's pretty bad. I'll do my best, but the glare is pretty bad. So it gives you a bit of a map. Tells you how long it takes. They're saying it takes from 3 to 4 hours to complete, depending on your fitness and curiosity, which is always the truth. So if you're just out to get the walk in, 3 or 4 hours. If you're looking at stuff and what I call smelling the roses as you go through, yeah, it's going to take you a lot longer. Very good. So we'll just go back to the main path here. So if you're a serious walker or not a serious walker and you come a cropper in some mud, you can come here and give your boots a bit of a clean before you jump in the car. But I guess looking at the brushes, I would say they're well overdue to be changed over with some new ones. So we're very, very close. You can probably see just down there is where I put the motorbike. There are toilets here, so that's very handy. And there's some good notice boards with a lot of information that we'll go and have a look at. So that's where I basically parked the bike. And as we pan to the right, we see the signage here. This particular area is not for parking, not for camping. So you can come here. See, there's no mention really of bicycles being on the tracks or being banned at all. I have seen a sign that you cannot ride a motorbike to where the dam is, but I didn't see one about the push bikes. Obviously being a national park, you cannot bring your dog. It's just the way it is. And just over here I'll pan out a bit so I can get it all in. So there are signs here telling you a bit about the rock climbing and abseiling if you're interested in doing that. The overnight walks. There's a 40 kilometre 3-day one-way walk. So that's for the real serious ones that want to camp out. There's a 1 hour easy walk, 800 metres. And as I said too, the actual dam itself, if you're just interested in the dam, that's 500 metres there. It's easy. Look, my level of fitness is not fantastic. It is what it is. I think most people might be aware that there's no other way of putting it, but basically I've had cancer twice. We've had the chemo, we've had the radiation, we've had organs removed, and my stamina is not the best. But we're all cured, which is the most important thing. But the side effects can be a bit debilitating. So we've got that out of the way. So I don't really like repeating that sort of stuff, but it gives you an idea when I'm giving a description on how easy or difficult it is. And in my condition, I didn't find it too difficult. I did stop. Unfortunately, one of the side effects is I don't have saliva glands. And well, I do, but they're not very good. And so I've got to bring water with me wherever I go. You probably don't see that in the footage, but that's one of the side effects I have. And a number of others as well. So anyway, enough about me. We'll zoom in a little bit closer, and I'll show you some of the areas that you can actually go camping. So you've got, this is where we are. So we're right there. We've parked right there, and where the E is, probably you are here or just there. That's where the dam is. So you've got overnight camping here. So if you're a serious camper, there's heaps of places. You've got camping and a picnic area. You've got water and toilets here. You've got another picnic area here. You've got the Little River picnic and camping area up here. So if you're into bushwalking, hiking, camping, it's not a bad location. There's a lot there to take in, and it's a national park. It's the Brisbane Ranges, if anyone was interested. And that's where you'll find the dam. And here's probably another image that someone's taken a photo and put it on display here. And there are photos along here where people could walk, and you just can't do it anymore. I guess it's just too dangerous, and it'd be a health and safety issue. There's a lot of fauna to look at and flora, so it's not a bad thing. Oh, hang on. So there you go. Okay, so here's the thing about the bicycles. Bicycles are only permitted on the main access road, even though I saw the idea that people were on the track that took you to the dam. And I'll just pan to the right a bit more. There's your toilets, which is always handy. And there is plenty of picnic tables. So if you're in a hiking group, or maybe a school or a teacher looking for something to do with the kids for a camp or a hike, there's you can have quite a lot of people here for a picnic. Or if you're a community group that wants to come out this way, not a bad idea. Once again, there is a lot of bird life. I have seen a lot of lorikeets and parrots and all that sort of stuff. This is just another board. There's quite a number of these boards about, and you've just got to seek them out, have a bit of a read. Just press pause. Looks like it's a galah. So they're saying there's galahs, possums, bats, lizards, frogs, and they all survive in the hollows of trees. And I guess that's why they're all protected here. So yeah. It's all terrific. Now I'll just go to the back side of that sort of bulletin board, and I'll show you what's there. Okay, so I can definitely concur with the all the bird life. There are owls here as well. That'd be pretty cool. I don't think I've ever seen. Oh yeah, I have seen an owl. I have seen an owl in real life, in nature. There are wallabies, so that's terrific. Very good. It's a great place. I'm not sure if too many people are aware of this, and it's definitely worth coming out. Now, for those who are interested, it's a bit off topic. This is the bike I have now. I've traded in well, I didn't trade it in, I sold it to a lovely lady who bought my old Himalayan, and this is the current model Himalayan. It's not new, but it's so close to being new that I was able to save a fair bit of money buying a second-hand one with very low kilometres. And also, this is my drone, for those who might be interested in drones and whatnot. It's just a regular DJI Mini 2, so it's under 250 grams in weight, so very light. You probably, if you got hit by a pigeon, that'll do more damage than this thing. And I did wrap it in this sort of fluoro-looking orange colour, because I've noticed that when the drone's in the air, it's a little bit harder to see when it's all grey. So this being orange, it really does stand out quite well. And then I bought these little legs for the drone that are also with the orange legs. And that's purely because a lot of the times when it lands, it might land in grassland where the grass is sort of sticking up, and I don't want it to affect the propellers in any way or damage those little motors. So by it being sort of suspended a little bit high, does the job. So there you go. So there's the motorcycle, which is terrific. It came with all the panniers. It came with the bigger windshield. It came with a lot of extras. The guy or the girl, whoever owned this, I have no idea, put everything you can possibly put on it, and all I've really done is put the extra fuel tanks on and some of the posts where I put the camera, like this camera just here. So if you're curious on where I'm getting the footage from that sort of faces me, it's that one there. And now I've put one, if you look where the drone is, a camera that sort of looks from behind, if that's of any interest to anyone. And then the other one obviously is in my helmet. So there you go. Now I'll just quickly jump in with a little bit more information. In 1874, the successful construction of the gravity dam involving the use of about 4,000 cubic metres of concrete. It represented a significant technical advance. The lower Stony Creek Reservoir supplied water to the Geelong area for more than 120 years. It was decommissioned in 2001 and subsequently included in the Brisbane Ranges National Park under the management of Parks Victoria. So that's about it with the history. Once again, all the credits and references will be in the description below. So here we are at the end of this little video. Yes, I do know I need a haircut, and I will eventually have one. And if you did like the video, by all means, click on the like button or that thumbs up icon. Please consider subscribing. Subscribing doesn't cost you 1 cent, and it really does help the channel immensely. But most importantly, stay safe, commute safe, and have a great day. And thank you for your time for watching the video.